So you're going to start playing Mirio today. Today I'm just going to show you what to do, starting with number 1. If you're going to try and escape a team, you're running away from them, hop underneath a building, then release your permeation. This will send you flying all the way to the top of the building so that you can escape the team super easily. You can then follow this up with a couple alphas and you're gone. They're not going to catch you. Number 2, if you're running from people on a roof like this, let's say you're away from any holes in the roof, on a fire zone, you can literally just press the permeation special action. That's a lot faster than holding a permeation punch of the alpha to get away from people. It's less likely to get you killed, and you just get to use that limited resource that you're hardly using anyway to just slip through the roof, evade your enemies, and make your grand escape. The third thing that is very important for a Mirio player is realizing if you're going to use your beta for combat and you use it on a roof, this will just make it so that you're stuck on the roof. If you try and exit the roof, you're going to pop up over here or on the side, which if you don't want that and you're just trying to make an escape, not trying to help in a team fight or anything, literally just jump first, use the beta, and you make your grand escape. And this thing, you'll be gone. You can go from here all the way to over here. Your enemies won't catch you. If you plan this out even better, you could probably find a way for you to be in this alley so that you cut off line of sight from it. So that by the time you're over here, you're literally just an alpha away from being nowhere near that horrible situation that had you start running in the first place. The fourth thing that I believe that you probably want to know is Mirio is if you're on a roof and you're like, oh, I'm going to run through and you're going to drop. The R1 may seem pretty fast with like the superhero dive, but I think the real speed of Mirio going for 100 miles per hour down to the ground is found in his game. I think since we're not using this much anyway with the rest of his high speed kit, you can use this a bit to kind of conserve your cooldown of part of your main source of damage on the character. And then lastly, if your teammate is at the other side of a wall, let's say they're being assaulted by another team, you need to save them as fast as possible. What you can do with the permeation punch is just use the alpha and then go through the wall. This should still leave you with the lasting hitbox of your alpha, which should just allow you to punch through and maybe even hit the enemy that could be finishing your teammate. And just remember that when using the alpha, it has to be a hold if you want to permeate. If you don't hold and you try and permeate through with the punch, you're just going to smack the wall, which can be useful on its own if you want to use it kind of like a quick dash, kind of like an Ida would. But if you really want to lose your enemies, you're probably going to want to permeate. And I have one more bonus tip for this lesson today. Whenever you're using permeation, let's say you're using the alpha or the special action, remember to actually like get to where you're trying to go first. Otherwise, you're just going to get stuck in that animation where he just gets sent back to where he came from. He gets stuck up there for 2 seconds, and that's a perfect amount of time for a Bakugo to beam you down so that you've basically failed at all aspects of your escape when you start to try it. So instead, let's just make sure every time when we're permeating, even if it's just through the roof, make sure that there is no geometry between you and when you're trying to pop out. make sure that you're done somewhere, or if you're using the alpha, make sure that you've had a clear line of sight of where you're going to be. Because if you don't do that, you sometimes might still get out with the animation. It could bail you out, and you still might end up on the other edge. But if it doesn't always happen, and then if you get sent back, you're probably going to die. So just keep this in mind. Try and make sure that you use the ability all the way, get to where you need to go first, and don't prematurely press the button to end it with the special action, or misjudge the distance and depth of a building whenever you're trying to use the alpha for an escape. Could also lose you precious seconds if your teammate's being finished on the other side of the building and you misjudge which action you should probably use to get to them as quick as possible.